Why do you feel instant chemistry with some people and nothing with others who seem perfect on paper? In this video, we explore a deeper truth about attraction that most people overlook. It doesn't begin in the mind, it begins in the nervous system. This is from the Somatic Path and helps with understanding how the body quietly shapes your experience of relationships. Enjoy.
Many people have had the experience of meeting someone and feeling instantly drawn to them. Before any real conversation has happened, something already feels compelling. There is a sense of chemistry, as though the connection appeared on its own. At other times, the opposite happens. Someone may be kind, thoughtful, and clearly interested, yet the attraction simply isn't there. These reactions often feel mysterious. We assume they come from preference or personality. But in many cases, something else is happening first. The body has already formed an impression long before the mind begins to explain it. What most people don't realize is that attraction often begins in the body long before it appears in thought. The nervous system is constantly reading the environment. It quietly evaluates facial expressions, tone of voice, posture, eye contact, and emotional presence. These signals are processed extremely quickly, often in ways we are not consciously aware of. Within moments of meeting someone, the body has already formed an impression about how that person feels to us. This is why attraction can appear almost instantly. It can feel as though something simply clicks, even though the mind cannot yet explain why. From a somatic perspective, what we often call chemistry is the nervous system recognizing emotional patterns that feel familiar. The body is responding to subtle signals that resemble relational experiences it has encountered before. If certain emotional environments were common earlier in life, the nervous system becomes accustomed to them. Over time, these patterns begin to feel normal. Even when they are not particularly healthy, they can still register as familiar. Because of this, attraction does not always move toward what is objectively supportive or stable. Instead, it often moves toward what the nervous system already understands. For example, someone who grew up around unpredictability may find intensity and emotional volatility strangely compelling. Another person who experienced emotional distance may feel drawn to partners who remain slightly unavailable. The mind may say it wants something different, yet the body can still respond to the patterns it has learned to recognize. This does not mean attraction is wrong or broken. It simply means that attraction is shaped by the nervous system's history. The body is constantly interpreting relational signals. Long before the mind begins forming opinions or stories about a person, the nervous system has already begun deciding whether something feels exciting, calming, familiar, or activating. When we understand this, attraction becomes easier to make sense of. What once seemed mysterious or irrational begins to reveal an underlying logic. The body interprets reality first. Thought comes afterward to explain what the body has already felt. Once you begin to see how attraction is shaped by the nervous system, many relationship patterns that once felt confusing start to make much more sense. A very common experience is feeling strongly drawn to someone who later turns out to be emotionally unavailable. At the beginning, there may be a powerful sense of chemistry. The conversations feel exciting, the emotional intensity feels alive. Yet over time, the relationship begins to feel unstable or uncertain. From the outside, it can be difficult to understand why someone would remain drawn to this dynamic. Even the person experiencing it may wonder why the attraction is so strong when the relationship itself feels difficult. Often what is happening is that the nervous system recognizes emotional patterns that feel familiar. If unpredictability, distance, or inconsistency were present in earlier relational experiences, those same qualities can later register as emotionally compelling. The attraction is not created by conscious choice. It emerges from the body recognizing something it already understands. Another pattern appears in the opposite direction. Someone may meet a partner who is kind, emotionally steady, and genuinely available. Communication is clear. There is little drama. The relationship feels respectful and supportive. And yet something feels missing. People sometimes describe this experience by saying the relationship feels boring. There is no strong rush of excitement, no emotional roller coaster, no intense pull that keeps the nervous system highly activated. What is happening here is not necessarily a lack of compatibility. Often it is simply that the nervous system has not yet learned to recognize calm connection as engaging. If the body has become accustomed to intensity, calm can initially feel unfamiliar. Instead of registering as safe and supportive, it may register as flat or uninteresting. Over time, this can create a confusing internal conflict. The mind recognizes that the relationship is healthy, yet the body does not feel strongly drawn toward it. Another place this dynamic appears is in the feeling of instant chemistry with someone we barely know. Two people meet, and within minutes there is a sense of magnetic pull. Conversation flows easily, the connection feels natural and almost automatic. It can seem as though the two people simply clicked. While this can sometimes reflect genuine compatibility, it can also reflect the nervous system recognizing familiar emotional cues. Similar patterns of expression, communication, or emotional tone may resemble earlier relational environments. The body responds to these signals quickly, creating the feeling that something meaningful is already present. Because this happens so quickly, the mind often interprets it as destiny or fate. But in many cases, the body is simply recognizing emotional patterns that are already known. These dynamics also explain why people sometimes find themselves repeating similar relationship experiences again and again. A person might say they want a certain kind of partner, yet they repeatedly feel attracted to individuals who bring similar challenges. Each relationship begins with a sense of excitement or possibility, but eventually similar patterns begin to appear. Without understanding the role of the nervous system, these cycles can feel frustrating or mysterious. It may seem as though something is simply going wrong, but from a somatic perspective, the pattern becomes clearer. The nervous system moves toward what feels emotionally familiar. Even when the mind wants something different, the body can still respond to patterns it has learned to recognize. This does not mean these patterns cannot change. It simply means that attraction is not purely a matter of conscious decision. The body is constantly interpreting relational signals, drawing on past experiences to determine what feels engaging, safe, or activating. When we understand this, many relationship experiences that once seemed confusing start to reveal their deeper logic. The body is responding exactly as it has been conditioned to respond. Understanding this brings a great deal of compassion to the process. Rather than judging ourselves for who we feel drawn to, we can begin to see how the nervous system quietly shapes the connections that feel most compelling. Understanding how attraction begins in the nervous system allows us to see relationships from a very different perspective. Many people assume that strong attraction means a relationship is right for them. The feeling of chemistry is often interpreted as a signal of compatibility or destiny. Yet when we understand how the body works, we begin to see that attraction is not always pointing toward what will actually support us. Often it is simply pointing toward what the nervous system already recognizes. This does not mean attraction is misleading or something we should distrust. It simply means that attraction reflects the body's history as much as it reflects the present moment. When the nervous system has been shaped by environments that included intensity, unpredictability, or emotional distance, those same qualities can later feel compelling. The body moves toward what it knows. But something interesting begins to happen as the nervous system becomes more regulated. As safety gradually returns to the body, the way attraction feels can begin to change. Emotional steadiness, which once felt dull or unfamiliar, may start to feel increasingly comfortable. Calm connection begins to register as ease rather than boredom. Instead of being pulled toward intensity, the body begins to respond more strongly to presence, reliability, and genuine availability. This shift is not created by forcing different choices. It happens naturally as the nervous system learns that connection can feel both safe and alive at the same time. Over time, attraction itself can reorganize. Rather than being driven by unresolved emotional patterns, it begins to orient toward resonance. The body becomes more sensitive to qualities that support stability, openness, and mutual presence. What once felt magnetic may gradually lose its pull, while new forms of connection begin to feel meaningful. Seen in this way, attraction is not fixed. It evolves with the nervous system. As the body becomes more regulated, the kinds of relationships that feel natural and engaging can change as well. You might pause for a moment and gently bring your attention back into the body. Rather than thinking about attraction as an idea, simply notice how it has appeared in your own life. You may recall meeting someone and feeling an immediate pull toward them. Something in the body felt alive or activated even before you understood who the person really was. The mind may have later explained the feeling, but the response itself appeared first. Someone kind, steady, and genuinely present may have entered your life, yet the attraction did not appear with the same intensity. But when we understand that the nervous system is interpreting relational signals continuously, these moments begin to make more sense. It is reading subtle cues in tone, posture, presence, and emotional energy. It is comparing what it perceives with patterns it has encountered before. Instead of assuming that every strong pull must be followed, we can become curious about what the body is recognizing. Instead of assuming that calm connection means something is missing, we can allow the nervous system time to learn a different rhythm of relating. And as it does, our experience of connection can quietly begin to change. This perspective is part of what I call the somatic path, understanding how the state of the nervous system quietly shapes the relationships we experience. If this conversation resonates with you, you can subscribe for future videos, or continue with the next one where we explore how the nervous system learns to feel safe in connection.
Hi, it's Jim Daunt. My new book, The Somatic Path, is now available on Amazon. Go check it out. Also, if you're interested in some free ebooks, either check the links in the description or my website, jimdaunt.com.